Welcome to Globalpose News. Donald Trump says he will hit China, Mexico and Canada with new tariffs on day one of his presidency in an effort to force them to crack down on illegal immigration and drug smuggling into the U.S. The U.S. president-elect said he would sign an executive order imposing a 25% tariff on all goods coming from Mexico and Canada, after being inaugurated on the 20th of January 2025. He also said we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff, above any additional tariffs until it cracked down on fentanyl smuggling. The threat could mark a major escalation in tensions with the U.S.'s three top trading partners. It could also lead to higher prices for Americans, since tariffs work as a form of tax on imports. The U.S. president-elect said he would sign an executive order imposing a 25% tariff on all goods coming from Mexico and Canada, after being inaugurated on the 20th of January 2025. He also said we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff, above any additional tariffs until it cracked down on fentanyl smuggling. The threat could mark a major escalation in tensions with the U.S.'s three top trading partners. It could also lead to higher prices for Americans, since tariffs work as a form of tax on imports. The U.S. is the world's largest importer. China, Mexico and Canada account for about 40% of the $3.2 trillion, £2.6 trillion of goods it imports each year, according to official data. China has defended its efforts to stop the flow of illegal drugs, and has warned that there can be no winner in a trade war between the two. After Trump made his tariff threat, he discussed trade and border security with Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, according to a Canadian source who spoke to the Reuters news agency. They had a good discussion, the source said. Mexico's finance ministry said Mexico is the United States' top trade partner, and the USMCA provides a framework of certainty for national and international investors. The measures have the potential to cause disruptions to the global supply chain and would hit the three countries targeted by the tariffs hard. The tariffs on Mexico and Canada will remain in place until the two countries clamp down on drugs, particularly fentanyl, and migrants illegally crossing the border, Trump said in a post on his Truth Social platform. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long-simmering problem, he wrote. It is time for them to pay a very big price. In a follow-up Truth Social post, Trump attacked Beijing for failing to follow through on promises that he said Chinese officials made to carry out the death penalty for people caught dealing fentanyl, a synthetic opioid. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington told the BBC the idea of China knowingly allowing fentanyl precursors to flow into the United States runs completely counter to facts and reality. China believes that China-US economic and trade cooperation is mutually beneficial in nature. No one will win a trade war or a tariff war, he added. The Biden administration has been calling on Beijing to do more to stop the production of ingredients used in fentanyl, which Washington estimates killed almost 75,000 Americans last year. During his election campaign, Trump threatened Mexico and China with tariffs of up to 100% if he deemed them necessary, much higher than those he put in place during his first term in office. Trump has also said he will end China's most favored nation trading status with the U.S., the most advantageous terms Washington offers on tariffs and other restrictions. Last year, more than 80% of Mexico's exports went to the U.S., while around 75% of Canada's went to its larger neighbor. Even after years of a bitter trade dispute between the world's two biggest economies, the U.S. still accounts for about 15% of China's exports. For more updates, news, views from around the globe, follow us on all our social media platforms at Globalpose.